loyalty pledge. Your boy, you see next how that mag and shoddy work. Can't rid this smell with bath and body works. It's sad and probably worse. First, the chroma spit. Wise guys do drive-bys and don't own a whip. Time come, divine sons need a song to rip. Thugs in harmony, cool, I got a bone to pick.
Vlogs, battles, music videos, interviews, and much more. Pushing the culture forward. No Mercy TV.
Yo, what's good, y'all? No Mercy, Trap New York shit, NoMercyTV.com. You know what time it is, man. Listen, I am a huge fan of the game. Personally, one of my favorite rappers, one of the best to ever do it in the booth. We talking about rapping here. As a person, I don't know what he be doing. He be doing a whole bunch of weird clout chasing and stuff like that I don't really rock with. But when it comes to strictly rapping, this nigga is easily one of the best. I mean, on regular tracks, on songs, on freestyles, when he's dissing niggas, like this nigga covers every single base, and he is A1 at every aspect of rapping. You understand? So when it came to the Drink Champs interview, he's a character. You feel me? So I was interested to see how this Drink Champs joint was going to go, right? So I catch it after the premiere on YouTube, because you know when they upload to YouTube, it's always the premiere. You never get to see how long the interview is in the premiere. You just have to watch it and see how long you're going to be watching this video. But when the premiere is over and I finally go to my subscriptions and catch it, this shit is 4 hours long. Do you know how much fire content you can get out of a 4-hour game sit down? You can get a lot. You can get a lot, because his career, he's dealt with so much. Like, it's so much shit that he went through. And let me tell you, NORE, this was a waste of an interview. This was a waste of an interview. They did, they covered, you know, him growing up in Compton, I guess. They jumped right to Dr. Dre. They jumped right to Dr. Dre, dude coming to the hood to get him, or whatever the case was. They didn't cover the shit with JT, which is, you know, that a lot of people don't know Game was with JT, the bigger figure, first. You feel me? They linked up. They was doing mixtapes and shit like that together. That's something that NORE missed out on. You feel me? Game had a whole nother sound back when he was like, when him and Sean was going back and forth, and Sean was like, nigga, you used to sound like me. Yeah, Game, if you listen to his voice, he sounded like Sean when he first came in. You know, it's a song, look it up, it's called Streets of Compton, where he don't sound like how he actually sounds rapping. Now, you understand, like, voice completely different. You wouldn't even think it's him. But that was when he was with JT, right? They missed out on all of that, because that right there would be a whole story in itself, you know, linking up with JT, how the mixtapes was moving, then starting to migrate to New York. And even that, his mixtape run in New York, when he's doing all these Clue and all these other features and stuff like that, that was a whole nother part of the shit, a part of Game's career that they could have tapped in on. You understand? Like, it's so much that they missed out on. They missed out on the GU-Not era. You know, when Game was putting up GU-Not billboards, doing GU-Not mixtapes. He did the DVD. He went to 50 House and bodyguards start shooting and shit like that. Like, it's mad shit that these niggas miss. And I am so mad that niggas watched that interview for 4 hours, and it was an hour of actual information and then 3 hours of just nothing, of just rambling, drink stuff, damn near interviewing Whack 100, which nobody cares about. I'm not sitting watching the Game interview to watch Whack 100 get interviewed. I'm just like, these niggas are keep on brushing against the Jay-Z situation and never come back to breaking that shit down. Like, you have the Razzcast incident that could have been broken down. At one point, signing the Birdman, That's something that could have been breaking down. Like, it's so much. His relationship with Lil Wayne, you know, them niggas are tight than a motherfucker. Like, it's so much that niggas could have tapped in on and niggas didn't. You have the game for 4 hours. Like, despite how niggas might look at him in the industry or whatever the case is, as, you know, being a bozo, he still is one of the more popular rappers that we do have. You understand? And I think it's primarily because of his skill. Like, it's not just because of the bozo shit. Like, yeah, it's a lot of stuff that he does that's like, you know, clout chasing and shit. But the reason fans respect him is for his music ability. You know what I mean? And then it's other stuff like that. Nigga got 1 million mixtapes. You got the Black Wall Street situation. That was a whole nother topic. You probably could have spent an hour talking about that. Because he had artists under him, artists he was moving with, and, you know, shit like that. Like, yo, that really was a waste of a game interview. NORE, you need to get right, man. You need to get somebody on Drink Champs with you that when you start to veer off into other dumb shit that don't matter, they bring you back. You understand what I'm saying? Like, somebody who just has a list of, like, all of the details and a person's career timeline. That way, they can keep some type of order in the interviews, because I was extremely disappointed watching this. I was extremely disappointed. 4 hours of game content. It is way too much that he could have talked about that niggas did not touch on. And it's just like, what was the point? That's just 4 hours of YouTube time just taken up for no reason. You know what I mean? So it's a lot, man. It's a lot. They never got back to the Sean Kingston situation. Like, it's a million. It's a Stitches situation they could have talked about. They could have talked about him and 50 finally squashing they shit, like going into detail with it. The Jimmy Henchman situation, you know how that spiraled into, you know, it was they beef. It was the Game versus G Unit. Then it became Jimmy Henchman versus G Unit. Then you got Yayo slapping his son, and then Jimmy Henchman putting the hit out and getting one of the G Unit niggas killed. Like, it's a whole bunch of stuff that these niggas did not touch on, man. And I'm just extremely disappointed. Like, NORE is a horrible interviewer. He is terrible. Like, bruh, y'all got to get right over there. Y'all got to get right over there. Whoever the producer was that they kept mentioning, Sam Lee or whoever that was, maybe he could have been doing that. Bringing niggas back around when niggas are just veering off, and it's just like that was no. This need to be looked at as a turning point for NORE, where he start to switch up and do better at his interviews, because it's like, come on, man, you cannot be having legendary artists like that and fucking up the interviews. You feel me? Like, when they went on the LAX tour, right? And he brung, you know, Nipsey and J-Rock. I was there at the Gramercy, at the show that they did where Nipsey came out and he performed Ambitious as a Rider freestyle, and J-Rock came out to perform. And you know what's crazy, man? I had footage. I had that footage. That was Nipsey's first time performing in New York, and I had my camera on me, and I had that footage. One of these days, I'm going to see if I can find that footage. I'm going to see. I don't think I'm going to find it, because that shit is old. Like, you're talking about LAX. That album came out 2008. And he was touring when the album came out. So that's when that footage is from. So that would be 14-year-old footage. But that was the first time niggas got to see Nipsey in New York. And I was just like, man, you feel me? But it was, they missed out on so many golden opportunities to talk about some real shit. And they didn't, man. I think that's a sit down that need to be redone. With all the subjects I'm talking about, and even more stuff that niggas might have missed out on. But that interview need to be done over, man. It need to be done over, because that was just like, NORE, what are you doing, yo? You feel what I'm saying? So let me know what y'all think in the comments. Let me know what other topics involving Game's career do y'all feel like they should have touched on? Because I was just like, y'all niggas, nah, not for 4 hours, man. Not for 4 and change, man. Nah. Niggas gotta do that over. The streets need that. That gotta be done over, man. You feel what I'm saying? So even him and Kanye's relationship, Like, they touched on little things, but it's like, how did y'all niggas really become, like, so close like that? You feel like, man, NORE. It's crazy, man. Anyway, No Mercy, Trap New York shit, NoMercyTV.com. I'll holler at y'all soon. I'm out of here.